welcome to everyone today. Our guest is Cage Warriors fighter Michal Figlak. Michal, thank you so much for accepting the invitation for the interview. And what can you say in general about yourself, about achievements, career, some general guidelines? So then we're gonna go with the specific questions.
Okay, I'm an undefeated MMA fighter with 4 victories, 3 by knockout. I started MMA when I was 15. I did a little bit of boxing and judo just before that. My amateur record is 10 victories, 2 defeats, and I'm currently signed to Cage Warriors.
Which was your first martial art?
To be honest, the way I did boxing was not really like strict. I did it a few times a week. So I would say I started in MMA. I took MMA seriously. That was the first combat sport that I took really seriously. So I would say it's MMA, but I did do boxing and judo before that.
So when people ask you about fighting style, you say mixed martial artist or something else?
Can you repeat the question, please?
When people ask you about your fighting style, do you
Okay.
say mixed martial artist or something different?
Mixed martial artist, yeah, 100%.
Okay. Do you have a nickname?
No, but there might be one coming. There might be one coming for the next event.
So did fans give you some suggestions or?
The gym I go to they gave me a nickname already. I was just kind of thinking whether to use it or not, but to be honest, it matches my personality inside the cage and inside the gym very well. So I will use it for my next fight. So if you want, I can give you the exclusive.
No problem.
News.
Whatever you want to say. If you want to, if you don't want to, I will watch next fight.
Nah, that's fine. I can give it to you. So the nickname will be Mad Dog.
Never heard Mad Dog. I don't know such a nickname. I only know Lil Dog. Mad Dog, no.
So at the end of my fights, you can see why people call me Mad Dog. And in the training room, it's whenever I grapple, I always go a bit harder. So that's why they call me Mad Dog.
Yeah, there is actually one bare knuckle fighter whose moniker is the Lil Dog, but Mad Dog I don't know. Very much original. Who are your coaches and sparring partners?
So my head coach is Paul Sutherland. He's the first Cage Warriors lightweight champion. I also train with Ronnie Mann, who's a veteran in the UK MMA scene, a very, very skillful mixed martial artist. And then I also train with Tony Glackin, my boxing coach. And my training partners, I have in Gloucester Trojan Free Fighters. These guys are like very high level guys who always push me. And also my brother is a big part of my success and my training routine.
How did you feel heading into your first amateur fight?
Into my first amateur fight, if I remember right, because it was so long ago, I just going back to it now, I didn't feel nothing. I didn't feel no nerves, nothing. I just wanted to fight and see how it is. I think I remember it as a great experience where I didn't really feel any pressure.
You had pretty much rich amateur career, a lot of fights. You also fought Jack Shore. You fought some really, really serious guys. Can you pinpoint to the, let's say, the hardest rival in your amateur competition?
I think it has to be Jack Shore. Yeah, Jack Shore gave me the toughest fight. It was a very close fight and he nicked it. But yeah, it was I think one judge had it a draw. So it was a tough fight. I would like to watch it back because I've never actually watched it back. So I might try to get that footage to just see what I did in that fight because it was so long ago. It's hard to remember, but I know that it was a very, very close fight. And but he won. He won. So my hats off to him because he did very well and he's doing very well now. So fair play to him.
How did you defend his submission attempts? Everybody knows Jack Shore as a guy. I mean, if he catches your leg and arm, it's in many cases a big problem for the other guy.
I don't think he came close to anything in that fight, to be honest, in terms of submission. But how did I stop it? I just train hard. That's all I do. I just train hard, and that's it. I don't think we'll ever fight again because I'm 2 weight classes above him now. I think he's doing very good for himself, and I wish him all the best.
And about your professional debut, was it a big step up, or you were also relaxed before the fight? I mean, how do you achieve such a level of relaxation before the fights? 99% of fights I interviewed are very nervous ahead of fight.
It's because it's the training I put in. So I know that if I put 100% into my training, I will be confident in there, and that's what I do. So I think a lot of fighters, they just don't put the work that I do, and they get to the days before the fight and they start feeling the pressure because they start looking back at their camp and they think, oh man, I haven't done enough training, or I haven't covered this, or I haven't covered that. And then they start getting a bit nervous. But if you know that you truly put 100% in, you're going to be confident because there's nothing else you can do. So you just go out there and fight.
Your second professional fight was also a great game. I mean, according to what I've seen, it was a great. Are you pleased with your second pro fight, or you think some things could have gone better?
I could have got the finish, so it could have gone better, but it was a fight that I was coming off a like 16 months layoff, and I actually lived in Thailand for a year before coming back and fighting. So I came in with a lot more experience against sparring against very high-level guys. And for the first time in my life, I was training full-time. I was training full-time for that fight. So I felt very good in there. And I felt like it was a war, and that's what I came in for. For that fight, I literally told myself that I wanted to be a war, and that's what me and my opponent made it, and I enjoyed that fight a lot. I got the win. I would have won the finish, but it was a great fight, so I'm happy with my performance.
So comparing your second and third fight, your third fight was Cage Warriors' professional debut. Is there a big difference between Cage Warriors and the other promotion you participated at?
Not for me. As a fighter, but I guess the production is much bigger in Cage Warriors. But for me as a fighter, it doesn't really matter. I just go out there, and I guess going back to right before I walked out to the cage on Cage Warriors, I kind of felt like, oh, this is the place that I belong in terms of like a bigger show, bigger production, and it's just going up from there now.
Oh yeah. So how did you finish Choban Elliot in your professional debut?
So in my Cage Warriors professional debut, I finished him by TKO in the third round. The fight was going my way straight from the start, to be honest. I just put the pressure on him, and by the second round, I could see he was tiring. I then wrestled him, and then third round, I knew that he was pretty much done, so I could get the finish.
How does one day in your life look like, and how did you prepare for Anthony O'Connor?
So a day in my life looks like I wake up in the morning, go through my morning routine, eat breakfast, and then I'm off to the gym. It all depends on the day. Some mornings, where my morning routine consists of a run as well. So some mornings I go for a run first, or sprint, and then I go to the gym. I do a morning session. Most of the days out of the week, that is with my brother, but I also do one-to-one sessions with Ronnie Mann, who does my grappling. And then in the evenings, I go to Trojan Free Fighters in Gloucester, and then my head coach overlooks those sessions, and we game plan a little bit for the fight and stick everything together. So I do my boxing separately, and I do my grappling separately with Ronnie. And then whenever I go to Trojan Free Fighters, where I do sparring, my head coach, Paul Sutherland, is very good at putting everything together and making me mix all of the things.
So about Anthony O'Connor, I guess it wasn't a hard fight for you. At least when I was looking, it looked like a one-sided fight. What do you think about it?
It was a one-sided fight. Coming up to it, I wanted to get the finish quick. I wanted to get the finish early. I knew that I can get the finish early, and I came for him, and I hurt him a few times quite badly, I think, in the first round. But he survived, and he showed his toughness. He showed his toughness, which is a very good thing about his character. And then in the second round, I got the finish. In terms of wasn't an easy fight or not, let me tell you this: the preparation is not easy. The preparation is not easy, so I can't say it was an easy fight because I trained so hard that I know that it's definitely not easy.
You want to say that the fighter suffers more damage during preparation phase than during the fight?
Yes, yeah, 100%, yeah.
Interesting. So, considering you're on a winning streak right now, do you have somebody locked in for the next bout?
I just want the guys that will move me up in the rankings, let's say, and get me closer to that belt. Whether it's some sort of a contender or someone who's undefeated. I don't mind fighting undefeated fighters. I fought guys when I had one professional fight. I fought a guy who was 4-0 with all finishes as an amateur and as a pro. Then I fought Oben, who was all finishes in amateur and pro. So I don't mind if they give me some undefeated prospect or a contender. I just want to get closer to that belt because in 2021, that's what I'm getting.
Well, I hope you're gonna get one. I mean, you're on a winning streak, and we're gonna see. But Cage Warriors is expanding. It's becoming greater and greater promotion as the years go by. Would you like to add something to the interview or to give a shout out to someone?
For me to get that belt, I just have to go in there and get those finishes, and that's what I'm planning on doing. That's what I've been doing so far. So that's what I'm gonna do. In terms of the shout outs, I'd like to give a shout out to my sponsors, Octagon Injury Clinic. And PNS Decorations, and also my team, Trojan Free Fighters and Ironman MMA.
Thank you so much for this.
For the interview.
All right. Thank you so much. I will start proceeding video. Hope to be in like hour or two. It should be online.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you. Have a great day.